happy weekend. I am doing a shakedown camp out with Patty and Maru, and it is raining. Oh well. Luckily I got mine pitched. It got a little bit wet inside, but not much, so it's good practice. And my pack was completely full of everything I'm bringing. So there. To those of you who don't say I never do that. They've got their Z-Packs duplex almost completely up. And I'm putting the phone away before it gets too wet. Alright, I can't video too much because it's raining, but wow, that's not an ultralight umbrella.
Are you sure? Hey, I know it's cheating, but it's raining and I forgot my coat.
So we're out doing a little hike before it gets too dark at the Whitewater Preserve. I would say I have a full pack, but we pitched our tents because it's raining, so technically it's not a full pack. And we are all bundled up for the rain. Rain pack covers, poncho behind me on Maru, even gloves, although I found out that they don't work with the phone like they said they would. It doesn't register touches like it said it would. Oh well. So, can't video too much because of the rain, but I'll get what I can for you. Do you see the steers? Oh, there's people up there still.
Yeah, the person over there. They got a ways to go.
Yeah. I finally saw a bighorn out in the wild. No, don't leave. I'm talking to him like he can hear me. Focus. Yeah, he's nibbling up there. That is so cool. Been waiting for so long to see one.
That's not bad. How does it look in front of you?
It looks dark, but I can see people. I can see you. I'm covering up my bindi lamp. Here, I'll show you. Can you guys see that? It's pretty good.
Wow.
That looks creepy. It looks like I have a third eye. I'm going to blind them now. Ta-da! So my copper UL1 is not very big. It's not big enough to put my backpack in and everything else. But it's raining. I'm not going to keep this outside. That's going to be interesting sleeping tonight. So I am blowing up my new pad. And I got this a few days ago. This is the actual bag that you use to blow it up with. So it makes life easier. So let's do that and see how much room I have left. So, yeah. God, that took me forever. This is my first time blowing up the new mattress. And I like it. It's nice and wide, so I'm not going to roll off. I haven't cinched my quilt down completely because it's way too early to go to bed. I'm just warming up because I finally gave up on trying to keep the my backpack in with me. This is a UL1 copper spur. There's just not enough room. And it's raining, as you might be able to hear. So I'm not going to keep it in here. So I trekked it back to the car, and I'm back in here warming up. It's a little bit cold. So I am going to find a buff and wrap it around this because I'm still going to have the slip issue with this. And sidle on down because I'm right up against the top of the tent. That's not usually where I'm at. I just laid down to try things out. And I like the way it feels. I just hope that the mattress doesn't deflate like NeoAir always likes to do. So fingers crossed. Yeah. Rain sucks. I hope Washington isn't that bad. I couldn't even chit-chat with Patty and Maru because, we all had to retire to cover. I might have to call this. It's still raining. I'm just in here watching stuff, and it's not even 7:30, and I'm freezing. And I just checked the weather forecast, and it's actually supposed to get down to the lower 30s tonight. And I'm already freezing at 7 o'clock. That's not good. It's still raining, constantly raining. So I'm gonna, I guess, pick up stakes and move it to the car I may have to call it completely. I like the pad is nice so far, but I've only been on it for a couple of hours, but I'm freezing. I don't know what I'm going to do for the Sierra. I might have to do another thermal layer, because what I have is not enough, and I have everything I'm bringing on the hike, so I'm going to have to rethink something, and quickly, because we only have a few months to do it. Good morning. It's the day after, and I had to bail out last night. Yeah, it's funny because I'm watching a Dixie video on the CDT. I'm catching up with her videos, and she's sitting in a tent with it pouring rain. But yeah, so I learned a few things last night. I'm a little bit of a wimp when it comes to wetness and cold. And honestly, that's the first time I've been cold like that, where I can't get warm. It had been raining all night, clearly, as you saw. And I don't know if I was just wet and couldn't get warm, or I think I need to look at my sleeping layers a little bit more closely. Right now I have a pair of tights, compression tights that I wear. They're typically pretty warm. Then I have a merino wool long sleeve mid-weight shirt that keeps me pretty warm. But then last night I had a puffy over that, and I was in my nice toasty quilt, and I will say my feet were a little bit chilled because they had been wet, but that wasn't very bad. My legs are pretty warm, but once I got to the hip area and then the upper body, I was freezing no matter how much stuff I would put on. I do need to get better at cinching down my quilt, but every time I sleep with it, I think I get a little bit better. Last time I slept with my quilt, I was toasty warm, but it was warmer, I think. And I think just the combination of the wetness and the chill really got to me. So I wish I could have filmed this because it was hysterical, I'm sure, to watch, but it was pitch black, and I made the decision about 7:38. I'm like, okay, I'm freezing. I'm literally going into shaking, like cold, kind of freezing. Sorry, the cats are distracting me as usual. And I'm like, you know what? It's only like 7:30. How cold is this going to get tonight? And I looked, and it had a forecast of like the mid-30s. And it wasn't windy, it was just raining. And I'm like, who knows what it is right now, because I don't really get signal out there. So I'm like, I called it. And I'm like, okay, because earlier I had taken my backpack out, and I brought it to my car, which is about 100 yards away in the parking lot. And because it's just too big to sleep in the copper spur UL1. So I put that in there. I'm like, how am I going to get stuff here to my car without getting drenched? Because I have my down quilt, I have my down hoodie, and other things, electronics I didn't want to get ruined. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to go out in my rain gear, which I didn't have my pants, so I'm in my tights doing this too, and pull out the tent stakes, grab what I can, go to my car, throw it in the car, and then come back. And I did that, and I didn't bring my backpack with me because that was going to get soaking wet. And my pack cover was already soaking wet. So I determined the lazy way. I grabbed, through the rain fly, I grabbed the tent poles and drug it the 100 yards. Now I do have a ground sheet. Otherwise I wouldn't have done this. The ground sheet, I haven't checked that it's still drying. Everything's still drying in the garage, but I literally drug it 100 yards all the way to the car, unzipped the fly, unzipped the netting, and just chucked stuff in the car, and then popped the trunk, put the really wet fly in the trunk, took the tent and the netting, put it in the car, and then took the really soaking wet footprint and poles by that time in the trunk, and just threw everything in there. But I didn't want to just leave Patty and Maru to wake up in the morning wondering what happened to me, so I walked back, proceeded to get more wet, and I let them know, and they're like, oh, so I hope they did well. They had each other for body heat, so that's good. And then, I said my goodbyes, and then I shuffled back to the car, and I must say my Bindi headlamp worked pretty well. It's a 200 lumen, I want to say, and it worked pretty well. I noticed that with headlamps, when I wear them here, it kills my night vision, and I can't see as well, but if I wear it around my neck, it works great. And the Bindi's cool because I can angle it at any angle that I need. So that worked out well. But anyways, kind of a short gear test, not a catastrophic failure. The gear was okay. It just, I didn't have what I needed to keep warm. And when your car is 100 yards away, you have a bailout. So I took the bailout this time. But I have to rethink that for the Sierra, because the Sierra is going to get colder than it was last night out there. It might not be snowing or raining, but it's colder just in general. So I have to figure out some more layers. If you have any suggestions, lightweight layers, I'm kind of strapped on cash right now. I can't really drop, like, I was looking at some icebreaker tights. I'm like, dude, I can't drop another $150 on something like that. I'm like, not this close to when I'm hiking. I need the money for the hike. So yeah, but I have to reevaluate that and come up with a solution. I will say in the 2 hours that I was on it that the new pad worked very well. It was very comfortable. That was the Big Air Agnes insulated. And I wasn't cold from the bottom. That's not where I was getting cold from. It was the areas where I didn't have the quilt cinched down very well. Or, the quilt only comes up to here, so my face was freezing and my hands were ice blocks as I was doing other things outside, but I just could not get warm. It was crazy. Anyway, so it is what it is. It's a learning experience, and I hope you enjoyed the video. All right, I will see you guys next time.